Hello students, here in this video we are starting with new chapter and the name of the chapter is machine design. In this slide we are going to discuss about what is machine, what is design and what are the properties of different material and what factors are considered to design a machine element and what are the design procedure and classification of machine design. As the name of the subject, here it is related to design, that is design of machine. So here I will say that machine design is also called as design of machine elements. Before we start what is machine design, first we understand what is design. Design is essential a decision making process. In our day-to-day life, we are all subjected to various type of design, and we know that every problem there is a solution. So finally design is a formulated a plan to satisfy a particular need to creating something with physics. In this slide we are going to discuss what is machine and what machine can do for a human. As we know that machine is a device which consists several parts or rigid body, those are connected in such a way that the available form of energy is converted into required output. Example of machine is we can see around the world, automobile sector, lathe machines, drilling machines, grinder where is in home. These are all the machines which give comfort and reduce the human tension, human issues, human health problem and gives human comfort. Machine design. If we are talking about machine design, let me first give the definition of that. Machine design is a subject which deals with the plan, construction and analysis of machine elements. We can also say another way, that is machine is a creation of new and but better machine and improving the existing one. Basically, machine design deals with both that means a combination of planning, construction and analysis. For a design of a machine, a designer should have knowledge about some subjects which are already discussed in previous semesters, that was strength of material, mechanics, mathematics and subject about mechanical engineering also, which are used in to design a machine or to design a elements of a machine. Now we will see the types of machine design, that means classification of machine design. Basically it has three different kinds and they are adaptive design, development design and new design. First we discuss adaptive design. In the adaptive design, we can say that it is a existing design and slightly modify the structure by imposing his ideas and a new machine which is similar to the previous one. That means in case of adaptive design, the component or the product is already there and that is already existing, and when we make a minor change, then it is called adaptive design. That is bicycle, diesel engine, etc. Second one is development design, a developed design. In this design, there is a in-depth knowledge on material properties and basic design equations or basic technical knowledge, so that the designer develop a new machine will be produced. But in developed design, the existing product would be used just for an idea and the whole new product would be developed. Examples: electronic components, equipment of TVs, tape recorder, etc. And last one is new design. New design means something new which are never existing before. That means first time that is invented by a designer, that is called new design, by help of some new concept, new design, new idea, where that idea does not used before in any operation and in any machine. That is called new design. Load. Basically, there are three types of load used in our day-to-day lives. What is static load, dynamic load, and impact load. In static load, the magnitude of load does not change with respect to time, and in dynamic load, the magnitude of the will change with respect to time. That means static load, we will say that that is one is constant load. We already also said that that is constant load, yeah, dead load. That means that is a fixed amount of load is applying on a object. That load amount is fixed, that cannot be changed. Then we can say that that is a static load. But in case of dynamic load, we can change the amount of load at a particular point, and that we can also say that variable load, that does not constant load. Then this type of load we will say that dynamic load. At a particular time के हिसाब से वो चेंज होता रहेगा. But impact load, we can also say that sudden load, when it is suddenly applied and removed with a fraction of time. You cannot imagine the load is applied or not. With a fraction of time it is applied, then it is removed. This type of load we can say that impact load. So in machine design, basically three types of load. One is static load, second one is dynamic load, and third one is impact load. So in this slide, we will see some of the mechanical properties of material. Let's get started with some of the properties of a material. As mechanical properties of material are associated with the ability of material to resist mechanical forces and load, it is important that machine element be made of a material that has properties suitable for the condition of surface in order to avoid its failure under loading condition. So designers should have depth knowledge about the different knowledge about the below said properties. First one is strength. It is an inherited property of material by virtue of which it prevents failure of the part of rupture or deformation. That means a material can sustain how much amount of external force that can be observed before fracture or before rupture. Second one is elasticity. It is the property of a material of which a material changes its shape. It is the property it can regain its original shape and size after the removal of external load. That means it is the material property which changes its shape when load is applied. When that material changes its shape and size when load is applied, and when it regains its original shape when load is removed. That means if in this pen, if I give some load, that squeeze, that means it compress its size. When the load is removed, it back to its original position. That is called elasticity. Second one is plasticity. It is the property of a material by virtue of which deformation produced under loading condition, that is permanently deformation, that is permanently set up. This property is essential, required for forgings, in stamping images on coins, in commerce, in ornamental work. If you see difference between plasticity and elasticity, after loading, plasticity is compressed, in elasticity materials is compressed, and after removing load that can be put back to its original position. But in plasticity, when its load is applied, at some time it will permanently change its different size and shape. That means it cannot, when the load is removed, it cannot back to its original position. Next one is ductility. It is the property of a material enabling it to be drawn into thin wire with the application of certain tensile force. The basic ductile material is used in industrial applications. Engineering practice are mild steel, copper, aluminium, nickel, zinc, etc. Basically, ductile materials have good tensile strength but have poor compressive strength. Next is brittleness. It is the property of a material. It is the property of breaking of a material with a little deformation under tensile stress or tensile load. Example, that is cast iron. If we see that brittle materials are good in compression but not good in tension. Next one is malleability. It is the property permits the material to undergo hammering or rolled in any desired shape under compression without fracture or rupture. That is called malleability. Next one is toughness. It is the property of a material to resist fracture due to high impact load or due to high sudden load like hammer blows. Next one is hardness. It is the property of a material by virtue of which it gives resistance to wear, deformation and machinability. Yeah, we can say that it is the ability of a material to cut into another metal. This is the above said properties to be taken care when the designer design a machine components या machining या mechanical components. Okay. In this slide we are going to discuss about factors considering for design of machine elements. Basically, a machine is an assembly or of elements with successfully constrained relative motions which is used for converting other form of energy into mechanical energy or does some particular kind of work. So, following factors should be considered during design a machine components या machine elements. They are as follows. First one is type of load and stress caused by load. That means the load on a machine components may act in several ways due to which the internal stresses are generated, and those are responsible for failure of component. So we should care about the factors above said. Second one is motion of parts or kinematic of machine. The successful operation of any machine depends upon the simplest arrangement of the parts which will give the motion required, and this above said points should be taken care during the design. Third one is selection of material. It is very essential that a designer should have through a knowledge of property of material and their behavior under different working conditions, which is very difficult to assign a particular material for a specific field of application. Next one is form of size of the parts. During assigning form and size of any machine part, it is necessary to know the forces which the part must be sustained. Next one is use of standard parts. The use of standard parts reduce the economics involved in the design components. To accommodate easy identification of material, replacement of the design components and for easy manufacturing, the parameter of machine components are standardized. Next one is safety operation. It is necessary that the designer should always provide a safety device for the safety of the operator. It is the major requirement of a perfect design objective. Next one is workshop facilities. A designer should be familiar with the limitation of his employer's workshop in order to avoid the necessity of having work done in some other workplace, your workshop. Next one is quality of machine to be manufactured. The number of machine to be manufactured affects the design in a number of ways, as it directly affects the economic involved in this process, as it also deals with the case of profit of the firm or the industries, the company. Next one is cost of construction. The aim of the design engineer under all conditions should be reduce the maximum cost to be minimum. It is the very important consideration involved in all kind of design, that is cost of construction. Last one is assembly. Every machine or structure must be assembled as a unit before it can be function. As for easy assembling, the the engineer must anticipate the exact location and the local facilities for erection. Main serving can be done easily at any moment of time. So these are the basic factors which a designer should be referred and preferred to a machine element for preventing or the rupture of the machine element. Before design any mechanical component, a designer always follow some design procedure. This design procedure should help the designer to make a perfect and a suitable component which is helpful to the human beings. And these procedures are followed. First one is recognition of need. That means specify the requirement of the component to be designed. Next one is mechanism. First, find the various forces and the reaction on different components by using free body diagram. Third one is selection of material. Select suitable material for the component and state their properties such that yield stress, ultimate stress, working stress, modulus of rigidity and Poisson's ratio. After that, next one is design of elements, that is size and stresses. That means first determine the various dimensions of the component by using different formulas and the past experience. After that, if some modification is required, then that should be adopted. Then prepare a proper drawing of different components by using different software. Then after completing all the process, then go for the production. And then during the production, before production, there is some amount of required is that to step down the bill of material, cost of material before production. After that, after all these things, go for the production and produce the final product. This is the NPTEL video for future reference. You can go through this and get more knowledge about these slides. Thank you.